Welcome to the Rotary Time Show, a public service program presented by Rotary District 7610. Funding for this program is made possible by the generosity of Rotary District 7610, Virginia. On our programs, we talk with Rotarians and community leaders and discuss how Rotary International builds partnerships to support local, national, and world communities. I am your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. The success of a Rotary Club is dependent on the club president. They lead, inspire, motivate, and connect their clubs with communities and others locally and around the world. Joining me remotely is Rotarian Brian Mansir, who is the president of the Rotary Club of Tysons Corner, Virginia for the 2022-23 Rotary year. Welcome, President Brian, to the Rotary Time Show.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
Yes, so we're certainly glad you're here to talk about the Tysons Club and all that it's doing in the community. So we're going to go ahead and get started, but I usually like to step back a minute and allow my viewing audience to learn a little bit about our club presidents. So Brian, tell us a little bit about you, your life before Rotary, and how you got connected with the Tysons Club.
I will certainly do that. It may take me a while because I'm that old, but my early background, I'm from a small town in Maine, Richmond, which is on the Kennebec River. It's a town of about 1,500 people. Give you a sense of how small that is. There were 18 students in my graduating class from high school. I enlisted in the Air Force in 1960 after graduating high school. I spent the 1 year in the technical school in Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi, Mississippi. Following that, spent 3 years at Alcoy Air Station in Spain, which is one of those round basketball-looking radomes that you see on mountaintops. I spent a year in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where my first child was born. 3 years at McCoy Air Force Base in Orlando, Florida. That included a 3-month deployment to Iceland while we filled in for a radar station that was being replaced. Following leaving the Air Force in 1968, I joined General Dynamics Electronics Division in Rochester, New York as a maintainability engineer. They moved that facility to a new location in Fort Worth, Texas, and so I left General Dynamics and went to Xerox Corporation.
Xerox, you've been around the world. Yeah, you've been around the world.
I was a maintainability engineer on radar on Xerox systems for about 9 years, almost 10, and then was recruited to come to Washington to the Logistics Management Institute and joined them in 1978 as a project leader, and I been there 44 years and just retired from service with LMI.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations on your retirement.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Education.
Well, maybe quickly you can give us just a quick synopsis of, you know, the education and what got you to the Tysons Club.
Okay, will do. I'm taking a little longer on this front end because I'm short on some of the other questions.
That's okay. We'll be fine on the back end.
I have got 3 degrees in 3 consecutive years from Rochester Institute of Technology in Rochester, New York. Associates in 73, bachelor's in 74, and MBA in 75. I had a I did all of that while being a single parent as well. I also earned a certification as a professional logistician and a certification as a program management professional. And I did serve on a special assignment while I was with LMI, although the assignment was for assured space access. I was the logistics manager to launch an Earth imaging satellite, the most sensitive satellite that had ever been launched.
Wow. You know, we're going to
in a
have to bring you
commercial- in a
back just to
commercial
talk
sector.
about some of these special things that you have you have under your
Yeah.
belt, because you have a unique background.
Well, it had me go to Russia several times. We launched that satellite atop a Russian Cosmos 3M from Plesetsk Cosmodrome, which is up near the Arctic Circle,
Wow.
near Archangel and the White Sea.
Gotcha.
So anyway, that's kind of quick overview of the background. How did I
right.
get involved in Rotary?
Well, tell you what, why don't you summarize that piece when you talk about the Rotary Club of Tysons? Tell us a little bit about that club.
The club is 37 members. We have a very diverse membership, male, female, race, nationality, age, profession, you name it. We've got all those bases covered pretty well. We are a hybrid club since COVID, and our in-person contingent meets at the Tower Club in Tysons Corner, and our online contingent joins us via Zoom.
Oh. So you have two groups. I knew that you met in person at the Tower Club for breakfast. So you do a breakfast meeting and you also do another virtual meeting? Because I know you were doing the virtual
It's all part of one meeting.
Okay, all part of one
You
meeting.
know, everyone that's virtual is being displayed, and they can see the room and they can see the speaker.
Right, yeah, because I've been to your breakfast meeting and I know that that's hybrid. You know, you have your speaker there
Right.
as well. Keep talking to us about some of the club functions. What are some of the things your club offers? I know you do speakers at your breakfast meeting. How about other events?
Well, as far as fundraising, we only have two major fundraisers: a wine tasting and a 5K race called the Tysons Turkey Trot. As I said earlier, we meet 4 times a week, but since COVID, we went to this hybrid model. We only meet in person twice a week. I mean, twice a month. One of the weeks we have designated for our board meetings, and the fourth meeting is a happy hour, which we will usually go to a local watering hole and socialize.
Okay.
We maintain a club website. We record every meeting. Our secretary and historian, Rick Kapler, does an extraordinary job at that and's been in the position a long time. He's also a charter member of the club. We also make sure we post in public media and on the district website. That's led by our public relations chair, Tyra Garlington. Our treasurer, Bert Haycock, keeps the club financially sound and is key to organizing our fundraising as well as setting up for meetings. He's our technical expert.
Expert, yeah. How about your community service projects? What are some of those?
Well, there's quite a few. I'm going to mention some that we aren't doing right now, but have done in just recent years as well. Obviously, Polio Plus through the RI Foundation, Ukraine Relief Fund, a place called Second Story or Alternative House. That's for youth at risk, and a women's shelter for abused women, another shelter for unwed mothers, and we operate Second Story operates an after-school shelter in an area in Fairfax County that's known to have gangs operating, and we want to protect those children. We support the Alzheimer's Family Daycare Center, Chesapeake Residences, Fairfax Firefighters and Friends to the Rescue, Lewinsville Senior Center, McLean Orchestra. We aren't doing that this year, but we have in the past. Pimmit Hills Senior Center. We do Salvation Army bell ringing. We give scholarships to graduates from George C. Marshall High School who couldn't otherwise be able to afford to go to college.
Which one of these community service programs are your favorite?
My favorites? Well, I would say that Polio Plus is certainly important. It's important that we wipe out polio in the world. The Strategic Water Alliance, which we're part of, it makes a big difference in both Zambia and this year in Uganda.